Good morning. Great morning. Wonderful morning. I want to hear that back. Wonderful morning, isn't it? Try that sometime when somebody says good morning to you on the street. Wonderful morning. See what they do. With a big smile and your eyes wide open. So to everyone joining us in person and online, we say good morning and wonderful morning to you. And whether you're here on purpose or by divine accident, you have found your way to unity. What is unity? Well, one of our co-founders, Charles Fillmore, said, "Unity is not a religion. Doggone it." I added the doggone it part. So if unity isn't a religion, what makes it different than we typically think of religions in the Western world? Well, in unity we understand that every one of us are connected to the same source, regardless of our religion, our race, our gender, or any individual difference. And that means we are all on a journey of awakening to our own higher self in the one ocean of the Spirit. And if we search across this whole diverse spectrum of humanity for the greatest teachers of wisdom and service, we begin to see they were teaching the same basic truths, the same practical principles that can guide us home to our source. And since unity isn't a religion, no one is required to believe these principles. In fact, we understand that these principles, you don't learn them just by believing in them or just by reading them and memorizing them. No, these universal principles can only transform our lives as we road test them in our daily journey, as we seek to rise above our limited thinking, loving, and serving, and discover day by day that we are coming closer to our true self, closer to that heaven within, closer to home.
Home, come on. Softly and tenderly calling, home, come on home.
Sometimes when I'm feeling lonesome and no one on earth seems to care, I'm all by myself in the darkness with no one to share. Just when it feels like it's hopeless and I'll never make it alone, I hear the voices of angels tenderly calling me home. Oh, come on.
Now I try to keep it together, and I never let on that I'm scared. Still sometimes I fall to pieces, scattered and
just when it feels like there's no one to mend all my broken down dreams. I hear a voice deep inside me, tenderly calling to me. Oh, come on home. Ye who are weary, come home. Softly and tenderly calling. Oh, come on home.
So don't be afraid of the darkness, and don't run away from the storm. Stand up and face your reflection and the feelings you tried to ignore. After the tempest is over, you let yourself come on through. You'll hear a voice in the silence, tenderly calling to you. Oh, come on home. Ye who are weary, come home. Softly and tenderly calling.
Oh, come on home. Oh, come on home. Come on home. Ye who are weary, come home. Softly and tenderly calling. Oh, come on home.
And so we are home today in our hearts, in our spirits, in this sanctuary, online, wherever we are as a community. We are home. And isn't that wonderful? Just wonderful. My heart feels, tender and inspired. So let's open this service with a time of prayer together. Oh, sweet Spirit, we've come home today, knowing it's possible to come home every day, but this is a very special day, and we give thanks for this day, for being together. We bless this service and bring forth into it all of our love, all of our caring, all of our joy, and we celebrate this being together in deep gratitude for your presence in this service and in our lives. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Right. Once again, welcome to everyone. This is a very, very special day for many reasons. I'm looking down from up here and I'm seeing a beautiful smiling face next to another smiling face. And I want to have a special time to introduce some people to you. First of all, we are blessed today to have with us Pam Gutierrez, who was just ordained last month and is now unit minister. Pam, would you stand? She's completed. She is also our guest speaker today, and we're looking forward to that. And next to her, I'm going to, this is a man that's done a great deal of support for Pam. Orestes, would you stand up? We know Orestes too. Thank you. He has walked through with her in many ways. We also have returning to us today, and I'm going to ask her to stand, Kalia Bethany. Many of you remember her from, and then she moved away, and we hadn't seen her for a while. And welcome back, Kalia. Thank you. We're happy that you joined us today to sing and give your sweet presence. Blessings so much. And Gary Rosenblatt, where are you, Gary? Gary, stand up, please. We haven't seen him for a while either, and welcome back. And
Keontae.
oh yes, back in the corner there, somebody very special. Keontae has been on a journey, and he has returned home to be with us, and will be with us indefinitely. Is that right, Laura?
We're not letting him go.
All right. So welcome to all of you. And in honor of this, I would like to invite Charles Durham up to the platform. Charles is going to be lighting our candle for us, and we always have something special that we light the candle for. Today we're lighting it for all the sweet spirits who have returned to us to give of their gifts, and for all that is possible in life as we are out picturing. So Charles, you may light the candle, please. Thank you so much. It's so special to, when we light this candle every Sunday, there are a lot of thoughts that go through my mind. Whatever's going through your mind, and just dedicate your life also to the candle and to this day. Thank you, Charles, very, very much. Appreciate that. And the next thing for us is announcements. Announcements? Announcements. Are you there?
I'm right here.
Well, come on in. Come on in and join us.
Kind of like Dracula, you have to invite me on stage. Morning, everybody. Wow, such a good crowd. It's great to see all of you, the people who have returned and the people who are regulars, I guess, and welcome to everyone watching on the live stream. I'm just glad they keep letting me back in the building, so. Thank you. Anyway, my name's Donovan, and these are the announcements for July 16th. Please make sure that your cell phones are on silent mode so they don't ring during the service. Our July bulletin has been posted on our website. It's been there for a while, but check it out at unityofthevalley.org. Prayer request. If you're in need of prayer for yourself, a loved one, a friend, or whomever, you can place your prayer card in the prayer box in the foyer after the service. Right out there. There's a box right out there in the corner. For those watching on our live stream, you can contact Julia Linebarger Taylor, and her info is on the screen here. Her number's right there if you want to write that down. So yeah, please fill out a prayer request. It works. Okay, let's see. We're serving salad after the service today. If you'd like to bring a salad on a Sunday, please sign up in the fellowship hall right out there. That would be most appreciated. Tuesday, 7 p.m. Oh, Kiss of Death. That looks cool. The Behind the Lens seminar movie is Kiss of Death, followed by a Q&A session. Maybe they didn't have breath mints. What do you think? If I can get a groan out of Laura, we're doing good. Yeah. Okie doke. But anyway, I want to start over. 7 p.m., the Behind the Lens seminar movie is Kiss of Death, followed by a Q&A session with Tom Blank. It's $30 for the series or $5 each time. So registration forms are again out in the fellowship hall. Thursday, Board of Trustees meeting is at 10:30 a.m. in the garden room. All are welcome to attend. If you'd like to speak at the meeting, please see Sarah Nay. Next Sunday, The Path of Divine Order with Dr. Sarah Nay Smith. So check that out next Sunday. Upcoming on Thursdays, August 3rd through the 31st, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., Mindfulness, the Key to Spiritual Awakening with Dr. Sarah Nay Smith. You're busy, huh? Offered on a love offering basis. Sign up in the fellowship hall and see page 11 in the July bulletin for more information on that. And Saturdays, August 5th through the 26th, 10 a.m. to noon, Cultivating Joy and Creating the Life You Want with Gina Duell. A 4-week interactive series for women to explore, deepen, and put into practice ways to deepen their spiritual life and bring out more joy. Sounds wonderful. Pre-register by July 26th. So that's coming up in about a week and a half. So pre-register by July 26th. Registration forms are again in the fellowship hall. So there's lots of stuff out there to sign up for. And it tells more about the class and the cost. And it is limited to 12 participants. So sign up if you're interested. And that's all I have. Was there any more?
No, well, this is a time where we're going to invite you to rise and join us in this next song. And I'm so glad Pam requested it, because I think this is a perfect song to dedicate to people we haven't specifically welcomed yet, and that is any newcomers here, anybody who's joining us in person or live for the first time. We really want you to feel at home here. And there's many routes we take to reach home, and sometimes we don't even know if we're heading in the right direction. But we're sending our love out, and we open our arms to every soul who is seeking that true home.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like the breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, I hear her voice in the morning as she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country road, take me home. Take me home. Country road, take me home. Country
Spirit's calling someone.
you know it's time to go through the sleet and driving snow, across the fields of morning light in the distance, and you hunger for the time to heal desire, time, and your earth moves beneath your own dream landscape. On borderland we run. I'll be there. I'll be there. Tonight we'll build a bridge across the sea and land. The city walls are all come down, a dustless smoke screen all around. The faces plowed like fields that once gave no resistance. On borderland we run, and still we run and don't look back. I'll be there. I'll be there tonight. I'll be there tonight. I'll be there tonight. Oh, come away, oh, come away, oh, come away, I say, oh, come away, oh, come away, oh, come away, I say, the wind will crack in winter time, this bomb last lightning waltz, no spoken words, just a Tonight we'll build a bridge across the sea and land. I'll be there. I'll be there tonight. Oh, come away, oh, come away, oh, come away, I say, oh, come away, oh, come away, oh, come away, I say, oh, come away, oh, come away.
A little bit more about our guest speaker, just to fill in any blanks for those of you who haven't had the pleasure to get to know Pam. So Reverend Pam Gutierrez graduated last month from Unity Worldwide Spiritual Institute with a Master of Divinity, and I guess that means I can call you Master. And she has been licensed and ordained by Unity Worldwide Ministries after 3 years of study and self-development. She had the honor of being chosen by her class, not surprisingly, to deliver the commencement speech, and has accepted the position of Associate Minister at the prestigious Unity on the Bay in Miami, Florida, one of the largest Unity communities. Many of us know Pam as a former member here, as board president, youth sponsor, and founded our Looking Glass outreach program. And she is the wife, as we heard, of some guy over there named Dr. Orestes Gutierrez. And as we were planning her trip here, I emailed her that there would be several people who are coming back, and it's going to be sort of like a homecoming. And it just turns out that Pam is a massive fan of U2, and she knew this song from them called A Sort of Homecoming. And so that's what we just did. That was sort of our inaugural U2 song. So thank you, Pam. She promises that the song, she's going to explain to us what it has to do with spiritual evolution, and she's going to share the techniques that carried her through ministerial school and are applicable to us all in everyday life. Without further ado, please welcome Reverend Pam Gutierrez.
You know, I expected to get up here really high energy, and I find myself in tears, just overwhelmed with emotion. So I'm going to take a moment and tell you that that song, Take Me Home, Country Roads, I specifically asked John to sing that today because he sang that song the very first time that Orestes and I walked into this church in 2010, just about in July of 2010. So just about 13 years ago, so that really was very much coming home. And of course, the whole music team was incredible in bringing that sort of homecoming song to life. So, wow. All right, now we're gonna shift gears. And I've been living in Orlando for the past few months. And Orlando is the world capital of amusement parks, right? Okay. So a few months ago, I found myself in awe of a roller coaster. I love roller coasters, right? I love the thrill, the speed, the twisting and the turning. And I saw this roller coaster where it looked like people were flying over treetops and then soaring down and diving over ponds, and it looked so cool. That, oh, I've got to go on this ride, right? So I get in line, and I get myself seated and pull this harness down, and next to me is a 12-year-old girl. And she looks at me and says, "Have you been on this ride before?" And I said, "Well, no, not this one. It looks so different. You know, I love roller coasters." And she says, "Well, don't be scared." I didn't have a chance to respond. I immediately heard the hydraulics of this ride shift into gear, and then the seat that I was sitting on went up and away from my bottom, and I was hanging there in this harness. And before my brain could even process this sensation of hanging vulnerably in midair, the roller coaster just took right off. I mean, it took off at top speed. And it immediately started going up and around, and I felt like a bird. I took a deep breath in and enjoyed the ride for a while, right? And then it did what every roller coaster does. It slowed down and started that dramatic incline, right? You know where I'm going with this? And so I'm getting myself ready for the fun, fast coast down. Oh, no. This took an immediate nosedive. And I'm hanging and going, wah, just straight down. First time in recent memory where my stomach literally came up into my mouth, okay? And this 12-year-old next to me is just giggling away. I'm going, oh my goodness. And then it started to slow down, and I'm like, okay, we're in the home stretch now, right? Nope, it took off again. Zoom. And when we finally pulled in to the home base, this little girl is smiling, and my face must have been green, right? And she says to me, "Were you scared?" I said, "Oh, just a little bit." And then she says, will you go again? And I said, well, not today. And thus is our spiritual journey, friends, right? The roller coaster, we see something really new and exciting, a new path, something we want to try out. This is our goal, for the roller coaster to have fun. Our spiritual journey is to find the face of God. And we see something new in front of us, like going to ministerial school. And we think it's going to be fun. Until you get to that dramatic incline, right? And so that's what I'm going to talk about today. I've been asked a lot, well, what was it like to go to ministerial school? Right? Well, it was truly a spiritual journey. And I can say that when I signed up for this, I was in the dark. I was like Moses in the book of Exodus, where God says, you cannot see my face. Because I thought, I'm going to go learn how to run a church. And I'm going to read a lot about, our founders, the Fillmores. Oh no, friends. This was the self-development spiritual journey of this roller coaster. Like in the song, there was a definite calling. And it's time to go. This is the beginning of that song. And that was it with ministerial school. And I knew it was time to go. I had a very specific incident in the Looking Glass program where I prayed with a teenager and realized that I was ministering to her. And that was the very definite calling. So I thank Reverend Sherry for giving me that opportunity, and for Doris for partnering with me there, and Orestes was with me that day. So I am definitely home here among all of you. So there's a very definite calling, like the roller coaster. Wow, that's cool, I'm gonna go. For ministry, I prayed, felt the call, okay? And there's always, always more ahead of us, right? So a lot of this journey was about deconstructing who I thought I was and becoming who I came here to be. Like in the song, the city walls all come down. Everything in my life made some sort of change, and it was not always easy. Because this spiritual journey, God is always calling us. There's an opportunity. There's an opportunity to take the next step, an opportunity to step into becoming who you came here to be. So what are some tools that can take us through the daily battle as well as the arc of our spiritual journey? Well, the main one in unity is prayer. It may sound trite, but it truly, truly is the tool that brings us closer to who we came here to be. It's what enlivens us and connects us to all that is through our heart center. And in Unity, we have a very specific 5-step prayer process that can help us get centered and be aware. And so the first step there is relaxation. Just take that moment to breathe deeply and make that intention that you are here in this moment, present in this moment with God. Because whatever's going on around you, it's not going to get worse in the next couple minutes that you spend with God. In fact, God is going to you'll be aware that God is with you and everything gets easier. So take a moment to relax into it. And then concentrate. This is where we really and truly get into our heart center, recognizing that we are one with all that is. The third step is meditation, going into the silence and just listening for the guidance. The fourth step is realization. And this is where we use our tools of denial and affirmation. We release what's not serving us, we release our fears, and we affirm what we're calling in. We affirm the tools that we know are already ours. Because we always already have everything we need. We were born, we came into this lifetime with everything that we need. And it's about our uncovering and discovering it and learning how to use it in the world to shine our Christ light. And then after we have done that realization, it's a time for gratitude. Appreciation. So the steps are relaxation, concentration, meditation, realization, and appreciation. We give thanks for all that is, all that we are, and what we've come here to be. And we can choose to pray on our own, or we can call Silent Unity. I'll tell you, I am a frequent flyer with that 24/7 prayer line. We can have a prayer partner. We can join a prayer circle. Because where two or more are gathered in my name, there I am in the midst of them. That's from Matthew. And in those other faces that are praying with you, you are reminded of God's face. Home is the place where I see God's face. Just I'm looking out there and seeing God in each and every one of you, whether you're smiling back at me or not. And now this isn't to say that everyone's path is difficult, okay? Don't mean to scare you off here. Did anybody see the movie Puss in Boots: The Last Wish when it was out at Christmas time? Okay. Well, it is an animated movie, you know, with the characters from Shrek in it. But it's one of those movies that you can understand at lots of different levels. Adults will enjoy it too. I just watched it on the plane. So this is an illustration of how everyone's path is different in that in the movie, the characters were on a quest to gain control of the map to the wishing star, okay? And this map was blank until the person holding it said a prayer. We would call it a prayer. They were calling it, you know, an incantation or a poem. It's the starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight, right? You know, that children's poem. So they would recite that poem and then touch the map. Now, when Puss himself touched the map, he saw the valley of incineration going to Undertaker Ridge and the cave of lost souls. That sounds pretty scary, huh? Now, when his companion, his long-lost love, Kitty, touched the map, she saw the swamp of infinite sorrows, the mountains of misery, and the abyss of eternal loneliness. Oh, but when their new friend, Perito, touched it, Perito saw a pocket full of posies, the river of relaxation, and the fields of quick and easy solutions. I want that one, right? I want that one. We don't really get to choose what's on our path. But the point is that everyone's path is different, right? So when we are in this movement of, oh, come away, tonight we'll build a bridge across the sea and land from the song. Our tool here is to activate the power of faith. Faith is about our belief systems. And so how do we modify our belief systems? Well, one of the techniques that I learned was journaling. And there are many, many, many styles of journaling, and you can pick up The Art of Mastery, or in the Power Up book on the 12 Powers from Unity, there's a technique in there. But it's about examining your belief system. So you can ask yourself things like, growing up, I was taught blank. Fill in the blank. When things don't go the way I expect, how do I react? If I could have a redo in my life, what would it be? And if you journal on these topics, you'll discover what your underlying beliefs are that have affected your experience in life. Because our thoughts create our experience, right? Unity's third principle. So once we understand what our belief systems are, then we can begin to shift them. So for example, if you start observing yourself after you've looked at your belief systems, and you observe and go, oh, I got upset when the store clerk was rude to me. Well, my underlying belief is that I always get treated poorly, right? Or, I didn't get invited to lunch with that group. Maybe you're feeling, oh, I'm unworthy of their friendship. Okay? But what would those beliefs look like if it comes from your highest self? Your highest self will tell you that everyone is divine. I am worthy. I deserve respect, and I treat others with respect. And when you walk through the world with those beliefs, then your experience changes. So this is all activating our power of faith to find our way home. And home is the place where we see God's face and we interact with others from our highest and best selves. Okay? That takes us through all the twists and the turns of the roller coaster that is the spiritual journey. So when do you know you've arrived? Am I finished because I received that reverend stole? What do you think? No, we're never really finished. But we do come to a place where more of our experience is divinely revealed. And we're seeing God's face in those that we encounter. Okay? We're always evolving. And we use the words to transcend and include. So we don't ever give up all those experiences that are part of who we are. We transcend and include them in our spiritual journey, in who we have come here to be. I was blessed to spend the last few days of my dad's time of embodiment with him. He had had a medical emergency and was in the hospital in Texas. And when I arrived there, he was awake and alert, but he was on a ventilator, so he couldn't really speak. But we found ways for him to communicate with a letterboard and things like that. We were having a good time singing Frank Sinatra songs and Dean Martin and all those good old time songs. And he told me that he wanted to go home. And my sister and I were really confused. We're like, Dad, if we take you out of the hospital, you're not going to have much time left in this body. You're not going to make it down the hall without the ventilator. And he kept insisting that he wanted to go home. And we weren't ready for it, so we kept fighting it. He went into a coma, and it became apparent that he would not recover. So we made the arrangements to take him home. And I rode in the ambulance with him in the transport, and they were monitoring his breathing and his heart rate. And it was really amazing that as we turned the corner into his neighborhood, his heart rate went up. He knew where he was. Somehow, he was operating in that energetic level beyond time and space already, while still connected to his body. He knew that we were taking him to this physical place that he called home. Within a few hours of arriving there, he left his physical body and went home to spirit. And what I learned in that moment, or through this experience, is really that home is the place you see God's face, and it is not dependent on your physical location. He had the Catholic understanding that he had to go to heaven. He had to leave the body and go to a place called heaven to be able to see God. But in Unity, we believe that we create our heaven through our experience, and that we see the Christ, we see God's face in everyone. So home is the place where we see God's face. The song says, across the fields of morning to a light that's in the distance. This experience of being home, the light in the distance. Don't sorrow, don't weep. Tonight, at last, I'm coming home. There's never an end point. It's every day, every tonight, we are coming home. Maya Angelou wrote, "You are only free when you realize that you belong to no place. You belong to every place. No place at all. The price is high, the reward is great." So in becoming who I came here to be, I understand Jesus' words in John chapter 14. He taught us to see the face of God in everyone. Quote, "If you had known me, you would have known my Father and have seen him." That is the soul's evolution from Moses not being able to see God's face to Jesus recognizing the Christ in everyone. And so with you, I am home. Home is the place where I see God's face, and I'm experiencing that right now. And so let's take this thought into meditation, that home is the place where I see God's face, and we are all home right now. So feel secure in the place where your body is seated right now. Or those at home, get comfortable in any way you'd like. But feel those sits bones solid in your seat and your feet grounded on the floor. And take a nice deep breath in. I have arrived. And exhale. I am home. Another deep inhale, taking this journey from our head to our heart. Inhale, I have arrived. And exhale, I am home. And feel your heart getting warmer and expanding with each breath. filling this place that we call home. Inhale, I have arrived. Exhale, I am home. And now expand your heart even further out into the community of Eugene. I have arrived. I am home. Knowing that every face you'll encounter in parking lots, in Market of Choice, in the park, they are all the faces of God. Inhale, I have arrived. Exhale, I am home. And now expand that love across the country, throughout the world. And just imagine many different faces that are the faces of God. Inhale, I have arrived. Exhale, I am home. And return back to this room, to this place where your physical body sits. And know that you have arrived. You are home. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Thank you, Reverend Pam. Doesn't that sound good, Reverend Pam? Thank you for your beautiful message of coming home to spirit, coming home to the heart, coming home to your calling. We are so grateful for you, and you will always be a part of our home. This is the time in our service where we gather our offerings to bless them with gratitude. And as always, we want you all to know how grateful we are for all of your offerings, for all of your donations, and for all of the many things you do individually to make this ministry so beautiful. So please join me as we speak this offering affirmation together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I trust God.
This is the sound of one heart starting to heal. This is the sound of faith stepping out of fear. Oh, the journey of one soul's passage through time, and oh, this is one lone dreamer learning to fly. This is the sound of love reaching out to the storm, calling through the thunder, through the anguished roars. And I can feel the winds, feel them beginning to turn. And oh, this is one small light starting to burn, and your love is shining in everything I do, and I hear you calling for me. All roads lead, all roads lead, all roads lead to you. This is the sound of prayer on its way to the sun, calling all the children to gather as one. And I can see us there, see it clear as a blue. And oh, this is one small part, and here is my gift to you. And your love, every moment of is shining, every movement, everything I do. And I hear you every time I see your face. I will know that you are all roads lead inside. All roads lead to your love. Every moment of my days, every movement, everything I do. And I hear you every time I speak your name. I will know that you are roads lead inside. Roads lead, all roads lead, all roads lead, all roads lead. So count the hilltops, count the towns, as we're crossing over. See no, hear no, speak no
beautiful service. Thank you so much, music team. Your work was just extraordinary today. Thank you, Laura and John and everyone for all of your efforts. It was truly beautiful. And thank you again to Reverend Pam for your beautiful message and your presence with us today. It's very special. We want to thank all of those that make this village, our ushers, our greeters, our friends in the sound booth, our angels in the kitchen, our bookstore people, our teachers. Thank you all for what you do. We have some prayer chaplains that would be happy to meet with you at the end of the service, and they'll be on this side of the sanctuary. So let's bless our offering now. Divine Spirit, we thank you for the abundance and prosperity that you have so blessed us with. Thank you for the hearts of gold, the minds of spirit. Bless this offering, bless these souls, and may all kindness, grace, and peace go forth in the world this day and all days. Amen. And now we have one more thing to do. I'd like to call up Reverend Sherry Lady, and I'd like to call Pam to come up, please.
Hi. Hi, Rev.
Hi, Rev, my mama minister.
Welcome to the, the profession, the life, and the challenge. You're ready, I think, for what lies ahead, right?
As ready as I can be.
It's an amazing journey that you're about to embark upon, and I believe that all of us here would love to, would you just raise your hands for a minute and send a blessing to Pam as she goes on her journey way far on the other side of the United States to Miami, Florida. It's about as far south as you can get. But you are God's child, and I've had the privilege of working with you and having classes with you and just watching you grow and bloom. And I'm so proud of you and so pleased for you, sweetie. All right, now we have something special to give you. But because I have to hang on, I'm going to ask you to reach over and pick up that beautiful book. The people in the church have, this is something that Gina put together for us, for the church, and it has in it, go ahead, what does it say on the first page?
God bless you on this special day, keeping you in thought and prayer. And there's pictures of Charles and Myrtle.
And there are, in this, just for your interest, there are notes from people, many, many people in the congregation who have sent her special wishes for this day. It's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful put together for a very beautiful person. Yes, I hope that you will enjoy it in the days ahead. And it's yours now. You get to hang on to it and keep it. And on the very end, at the very last page, it says, read it.
Congratulations, Reverend Pam Gutierrez.
There we go. Gina's right there. There she is. Stand up, Gina. Isn't it wonderful? I mean, just to be able to love on somebody like this and help and walk with them and know that they walk with us also in spirit. Here you go.
John, do you have a few words for Pam?
So Pam, I think we should all just visualize you on that roller coaster as you climb up to that hill, because the ride is not over, it's really just beginning now, right? And I just so honor that the bravery, the courage, the knowledge that you had about yourself to get on that roller coaster. even though that little girl was taunting you not to do it, she was taunting you, she was teasing your ego, and you braved right through it, and now you're at the top. And as we all visualize you dangling, we know there are going to be some times where you won't even feel like the harness is holding you in, right? But we all, let's just once again, as Sherry did, raise our hands and just know that the invisible arms of Spirit are holding you, are shining within your heart, levitating you through that ride and that journey, and you're going to have a heck of a time. So yay, Pam, together. Yay, Pam.
And one more. I don't want to forget Reverend Inga today, who is sending her love to you and so appreciative of your work with this ministry. And on behalf of the Board of Trustees, the ministerial team, the leadership team, and all of us, we want to thank you and bless you. We hope that these flowers will fill your spirit with joy and strength for your journey. We love you, Pam, and we're so grateful for you. And we would like all of you to join us in the fellowship hall, where we have an enormous cake to share in celebration of today and in celebration of this precious soul. Bless you.
Wow, where to begin? I told you earlier, I walked through these doors in July of 2010, and John sang, "Take Me Home, Country Roads." And I knew then I was home. I knew this was my spiritual home. And it always will be a spiritual home for me. Because we know that even when life takes us physically to different places, we never lose our love for the places we came from. And Unity of the Valley is certainly a huge, huge part of my journey, both personally and in my new profession, if you can call it that, of ministry, because it really is just who I am now. Ministry is one of those things that just because you leave the church office, you don't stop being a minister, right? And I love each and every one of you. You've been such big parts of this journey, whether still here at Unity of the Valley or part of the beginning of it. Really, my message said everything. Home is the place where I see God's face, and it is in each and every one of you. Thank you for all of these material things that I can carry with me to remind me of this journey, as if I needed any remembrance. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, if everybody would just, can I take a picture of all these faces? I really, really want to get a picture.
I can see Pam on that roller coaster pulling out her camera as she's hanging.
Could you hold the roller coaster just a minute?
Is that Unity's first official selfie? I don't know. I'd like to. It goes on. Okay, selfie. Okay. Now I'd especially like to invite Gary Rosenblatt and Kalia Bethany to come up and lead us in Let There Be Peace on Earth, our two other homecomers today, along with Keontae. So wonderful to have you both home as well. We love you. We bless you. Thank you. And it's time for us to rise up and be together in unity.
Molotov.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, flowing like a country road. Take me home to the
I belong West Virginia. Mountain mama, take me home, country road. Virginia, mountain mama, take me home, country road. To the place I belong, West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home, down country road.